Hey, what's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be doing a tutorial for you on how to do one of my edits. So let's get right into it. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to choose which gun you want to use, and you're going to want to boot up Warzone. For this tutorial, you're going to need a few different things. You're going to need After Effects. You're going to need OBS Studio or OBS or Streamlabs, whatever. Just a screen recording software. Actually, like you can use the Windows one, you can use QuickTime, whatever you'd like. Now, if you have it available, if it's there, you can use like a free website like TurboSquid to find a 3D model that is free of the gun that you want to use. However, we're going to be using the EM2 today, so it is not going to be available. So we're going to have to pull it from the game, but no worries. So let's do that right now. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to go into your weapon gunsmith, right? You want to go into here. You're going to go to preview weapon. And now we're going to leave it exactly just like this. Now you want to take your mouse and go all the way to the right. And then click and drag all the way to the left until it's perfectly lined up like that. And then that's it. You're going to stop your recording. And then we're going to bring that into After Effects. Okay, now you're going to open up After Effects. And we're going to open up After Effects and we're going to start up a new project. Let's get a new composition in here. We're going to make sure that this is 1080 by 1920 at 60 frames per second because this is what we need for TikTok. Now, let's make sure it's also 60 seconds long, right? This will be our master composition. So we're going to open that up and then we're going to create a new composition now, right? And this one is going to be 1920 by 1080. Okay, so now we've got both of our compositions, and it's going to be as simple as this. We're just going to import our project files. So we've got, a couple clips here for gameplay, and we also have our clip for the rotating gun. Okay, so we're going to start off with the gun. So we're going to import the gun, right? Zoom in a little bit. We're going to go into Effect. Actually, before we go to Effect, what we want to do is we want to kind of look at the rotation of it, right? And figure out where that rotation starts. So we're about right here. We can hold Alt and then do the left square bracket to kind of crop that off. Just kind of like that. And then watch the animation go, right? And then it finishes right about there. And then we cut that off there. Now we're going to hit Control, Alt, and T. And it's going to bring up our time remap, right? And we're going to add a keyframe at the end and a keyframe at the beginning. We're going to delete our existing keyframe. We're going to hold Alt and click the stopwatch. We're going to open up our expressions here. We're going to do a loop out. And boom. Now we just drag this as long as we want. And then now this should be looping. And it is, however, it's because there's an extra keyframe here. So make sure you delete that first keyframe as well. And then now this should be looping perfectly for an entire 360. And there's a little bit of pause there. So that if you want to get rid of that pause, it's kind of just come a little bit before here, add a keyframe, delete your old keyframe. And then now it should be a little smoother. Yep, and there we go. So now we've got the rotating thing, and then now we're going to go into building out our composition. Here, this is where the slow motion is going to happen, and then this is the clip with the kills. So you always want to try to choose your slow motion where there's like some sort of motion. So like the gun is like bouncing right now, and so that's going to make the slow motion look a lot better. So we're going to do the same thing as before. We're going to hold Control, Alt, hit T, right? Add a keyframe here, and add a keyframe at the end. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to drag that keyframe to about triple the time. Just kind of just eyeball it, and then we're going to play that and then see how that feels. So that's how slow it is. I feel like I want to make it a little bit more slower, so I'm going to just drag it a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty good. So delete that keyframe. Okay, so we have the keyframes here. Right now it's linear, so we're gonna take both of these. We're gonna hit the F9 key, and that's gonna add an ease. But we want to change this ease so this one is up and this one is down. And you don't want it to be like this, because if it has like this really large bump and they kind of like it goes up and then goes down and then goes up, this is gonna rewind. So you don't want it to go backwards. You want it to just be smooth. So you just want to be kind of subtle with this ease. Kind of think of these lines as being parallel to each other. And yeah, now let's see what that looks and feels like. See slow motion for a little bit, and then it speeds back up, and it's a perfect snap. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're done with that. So we're gonna go back into our composition. This is our edit. We're going to duplicate that, add a new adjustment layer, and in this one we're going to do effect, distort, scale, we'll transform, and then we will scale this up about there to where it snaps on, and then we're going to add blur, and I like to use camera lens blur. It's going to increase your render time, so if you don't have a fast machine, definitely don't use this, but I just like the poke kind of effect that it does. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then that is our beautiful edit, and it's all done. And now we can go back into creating this effect. So now what we're gonna do here is we are going to go back into our gun composition. We're gonna create a mask by creating this box tool right here. We're gonna box out this. Just this. We just want the gun. So we're going to kind of scroll that and make sure nothing's getting clicked off. Looks like the bottom's getting clicked off, so let's make sure we drag that out a little bit. Here we go. And let's fast forward and make sure that the barrel, the gun, is not getting clipped out either. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now we've cut that out. Now let's go ahead and add an effect. Let's go to Effect Keying. Let's do a key light. Or is it a linear key? We're going to choose this color here. It's going to key everything out. And now we have just this. And because this is going to be choppy anyways, it's pretty fine like this. If you want to see what your mask really looks like, and you can adjust the parameters, just kind of throw it under a white solid. And yeah, so probably change the gain a little bit, but I mean it's gonna be fine. It doesn't need to be perfect, not for this effect. So now we're just gonna go and we're going to create a new effect. We're gonna go to distort, tint. Oh, sorry, no, color correction, tint, and we're gonna make this blue, and this will give us our hologram look effect. And you can kind of choose whatever color you want, whatever you're vibing with. Like really, like I was kind of liking that really deep blue. That's kind of cool. Probably like that one. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then blue and white, and then that's all. That's all we need for that part. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a new solid, right? And we're gonna go to effect, transition, and then we're going to go to Venetian blinds. So for the Venetian blinds, we're just going to crank up that transition, and we're going to put this to 90%. And then we're going to just kind of get it so it looks like there's a little blind kind of effect. And then that's perfect. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to animate the position of this. So starting here about, and we're going to hit that keyframe, and we're going to go here, and then we're going to drag that all the way up. And now what this is going to be is it's going to be kind of our loading effect. This is going to kind of load up the gun. And now all we're going to do is we're going to come back here to the footage, and we're going to change the track matte to alpha. And then now you'll see it loads up. Okay, now I like to go a step further than this, but I think that's pretty good for now. So that is our gun composition, right? And then now we're going to go here into comp 1. Well, I'm going to save my project here. You always want to make sure you're saving, because it can crash at any moment, and then you lose all of your progress, and you don't want that to happen. So yeah. So now we've got that looping, and we can just drag the composition all the way out because we have that loop, right? Okay, now we're going to go in here, and we're going to drag our composition of the gun in. We're going to put it right on the top. And then there you have it. That is our hologram. We could go in here, and we could play with the Venetian a little bit. Maybe, change the width so it's a little more like that. Yeah, and then come back in here and comp one and see how that looks and feels. And that looks and feels pretty good. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's the tutorial. I hope you guys like it. I'll have the full video of this on my TikTok as well as posted as a YouTube short. Hope you guys learned a lot from this. And yeah, make sure you subscribe and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. Drink your milk. Stay strong. Mally out. Peace.